Welcome to Bar Talk. I'm your host, Brandon T.
And I'm Sharice.
Yes, like, subscribe, follow, comment, tell a friend, share it with everybody. So, question, peoples out there. Have you ever heard some advice that seemed super good? I mean, it was, you're like, you can write this on a bumper sticker. That advice hits in the abstract. But when you like try to put that advice into practicality, it don't work so well. Have you ever experienced that? Put that in the comments of any advice that sounded really, really good at the time. You know, so it could be given to you, or it could just be you could be watching on TV and see one of the old school TV shows, or somebody, your granddad, grandma, anybody that gave somebody, or they said it out loud, and you like, that sounded good. But then when you actually try to go do it, it was terrible, and so forth. And with that being said, Shreese, have you ever experienced that scenario where device seems like, yo, this is good. And then every time, you know what I'm saying, you put it into practicality or somebody puts it in practicality, it goes horribly wrong. But the advice sounds good again, but it then fails on its face again. Have you experienced that before?
I have experienced that. And what it made me do was not take any more advice from people.
All right. No
I
more
learned my
advice.
lesson
Okay.
because what I learned is two things. One, people don't take their own advice.
Mm,
Okay?
I
They're going to
don't.
tell you to do some stuff that if it were them, they ain't going to do.
Right.
They're not getting ready to do that. Two, the only advice I want is from God. Okay?
Ooh.
I learned go and pray.
Ooh.
Discernment goes a long way. Then try go pray, go talk to God,
Right.
wait for an answer, wait for some signs. I don't care if you gotta go, Lord, send me a sign, let it rain right now. But you
or
need
some
to
bushes shaking. All right.
something let somebody come out the bushes and jump on me. I don't know. But I have had it where people tell me stuff and turned around in the next month or two, the same exact situation was theirs. And then they were like, I ain't doing that. I would never do that. And I'm like, wait a minute,
Mm,
hold on. Because, see, I'm going to call you on your stuff.
right.
I'm one of them people.
All right.
You told me da 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 da. Now that doesn't mean I followed it, but that means I know you said that to me, and so that's the thing that made me know. Don't be around here taking people advice because they're gonna tell you one thing and they'll do another. I heard people tell somebody else, "Oh, if I got cheated on, I would leave that man, or I ain't gonna let nobody cheat on me." And I'm not saying this was my advice. I'm saying I saw somebody do this
Right.
literally
Right.
and was like, I wouldn't put up with that for 2 minutes. And a year later, her
Wait.
dude was cheating with three different people, and she was like, "We going to marriage counseling." So you
right.
can't be listening to folks. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. So with that being said, what you got over there? What you sipping? Look like some fruit, something going on.
You know what?
Look at an
I've been
apple.
doing really no. I've been doing really good. I haven't really been drinking alcohol.
Okay.
I have been on doing my prosecco
Prosecco.
only for a couple of months. Now I'm barely even drinking prosecco.
Okay.
This is actually an Arnold Palmer with strawberries in it,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
it's really good. I made it myself. Fresh,
Good.
fresh iced tea, fresh lemonade, fresh strawberries.
Okay. Good. So check it out, peoples. So that's an interesting thing. But I'm gonna tell you this. Here's the worst advice I think that propagated throughout the whole black community. It's told to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
What?
This is my number one worst advice that's told that I think that's causing a lot of problems. It's causing so much problems. People are asking, why does this scenario occur? And they don't realize it's the advice that's been given. And so here it is. Children, you are a leader. You should be a leader. You shouldn't be a follower. You should always strive to be a leader. You always lead and go for it, and so forth. Never, ever, ever follow anybody. You lead you. And so that's such a good bumper sticker thing to say. It is real good. It sounds good every time you hear it. It's like, yeah, we don't want a nation of followers. We want leaders. Everybody should be a leader. Now, in practicality, what you have is when the people say black people don't never work together. Why don't black people ever work together? That's the problem. Black people work together because what you've done is drilled it into everybody's head that everybody is their own island. And so, like I said, if you tell a whole bunch of people, hey, none, all of y'all are leaders, y'all all go do something, and so nobody works together, and you got a whole bunch of people doing a bunch of individual stuff. That right there is the biggest issue I say in the black community when people say black people don't work together. Because at some point in time, somebody needs to be following people, you know what I'm saying, ideas. If there's 10 of us got good ideas and my idea is better than everybody else's idea at the time or more practical. I ain't say better, more practical to execute. Should we all 10 just go run off and try to run over the hills individually, or should we get together and run over hills together? But in that device of everybody's a leader, everybody do your own thing, don't follow nobody, we all 10 of us just running over hill in separate directions. And so forth. Some of the 10, 2 of the 10 might, you know what I'm saying, be successful, and everybody else not. And the reason for that is you drilled in everybody's head you need to be an island. And so forth. And then you have other communities that don't share that same information, and they can work together. They come together, work together on several different projects and so forth. They can have a fight, whole fist fight one day, and 2 weeks later, I got this business idea, and I know you good at it, and let's run over the hill with it and so forth. So yeah, so that's the worst advice I think that's been propagated in the black communities, especially, is everybody's an island, and you should not follow anything. So what do you think about that, Sharice? Do you think that what I'm saying? Am I wrong for my thinking? When I listen to people talk to the youth and they say this stuff, I'm like, where's the other option? There's no other option. It's just one way, and now you got all these individuals want to do individual things, and nobody wants to work together, and then people complain about it at the end.
Well, maybe it should say you all are leaders, comma, but there will be times you will have to be a follower, period. Like, we can't have a bunch of chefs trying to be in the kitchen, all being the main chef, right? Because who gonna be the sous chef? Somebody got to cut up them onions.
Somebody,
Somebody got to cut those vegetables. Somebody got to stir that stock. So maybe it's a comma. Be a leader, but you can't always be the leader. And also, you just can't go in being the leader, okay? Because you may not know what the heck you're doing.
yep,
So I come in and I'm gonna run something. Like, okay, I'm a leader. Okay, so I'm gonna hop on the train and I'm gonna drive it.
right,
I don't know how to do that. You know, I don't know how to do that. So that ain't, play to your strengths here. That ain't my strength. I don't know how to drive a train. So I may not be the leader in that, but I can go lead people getting on it in an organized fashion because I can do that. That can be what I lead in.
right.
And I think that sometimes people don't realize you gotta play to your strengths in terms of leading and how.
Yep.
I think the problem is people are not told you're not always the leader. There's nothing wrong with having a leader mindset,
Right.
but you also have to know how to follow. A
Yeah.
good leader knows how to follow,
Yep.
right?
But like I said, that's not been taught because you got it even goes even deeper with this thing. It's like when people want to start businesses and so forth, and basically, so since everybody wants to be a leader, and nobody, like I said, if I want to start selling T-shirts and or whatever business I want to do, and I can't get any because I'm like, hey, my idea is this, and somebody like, oh, my idea is that, but I mean, you good at this, then come work with me, follow me here, and then they don't want to do it. So you get a lot of things in the black community is that these entrepreneurs just pretty much only own their own job, instead of running a business. Because like I said, and that everybody wants to be a chef. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a chef. I want to cook this food. I know you cook food. Can we get together? But you want so you've been told you need to be a leader. So now you cooking over there to selling something over here. I'm cooking over here, and so forth. And we never expand and so forth. Then you get those restaurants that don't work or they can't keep up with demand and so forth because, like I said, everybody that would have worked together here, if that message of everybody's a leader wasn't there, then you would have a better establishment. I would say.
But one could argue that a good leader knows how to follow. I mean, sometimes being a leader means learning to follow. Well, that depends on how you determine what leadership means.
Right.
Sometimes a good leader knows when to step back and when to say, here's where I let this person step up and follow. That's what a good leader does, in my opinion. And I have to practice that on a regular basis. Every where I am now, we got two strong women.
Right. Right.
And one of them is really good at one thing and I'm really good at something else.
Right.
And you as a leaders, you learn to play off of each other. Two, you learn to again play to your strengths. Okay, that's her strength. Let her roll with that. And then turn the other person's like, oh wait, she's really good at this. Well, I'm not. Let her roll with that. So I think in leadership knows when to take that step back and let the other person who's also a leader lead. And with that being said, also when it comes to marriage, okay?
Okay.
So
Okay.
we get married
Right.
and we're told the man is the head of the household. He's
Man,
the
the head of
leader.
the house. It's in the good book now. You can't go against the good book.
I ain't got no problem with that. I got a problem when you don't go get a leader to lead.
Right.
I have no problem following a leader. No, I don't care if it's a man, woman, boss, friend, whoever. But if they're not a true leader, I'm not gonna let you lead me off a cliff. I can't lead me off a cliff. I just can't do it. You go right on ahead. I'm gonna watch you do it, but I'm gonna stand right here and be right there standing watching you go off that cliff by yourself.
Yep. And then the next bit of bad that sounds good advice, but it's horribly is you tell women to when they're young. Hey, you know what? Older men are more stable. You should go after the more stable, the more got their stuff together. I think that's horrible advice. Also, sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Older man. You know what I'm saying? He lived enough life. His income should be better and so forth. But I think what you get in that gap is that old joker is set in his ways completely, and some of them don't move off they pivot for nothing. And so now you young girl is coming to that situation, and you gonna get whatever you get from that person. And it's not. And when I say that, it's not based on how much money that person has. It's the person's mindset and so forth. So if there's a gap, a delta in mindset, when I say delta, that means there's a distance and so forth. That say this guy's 10, say 5, 10, 15 years older than you, but you like, oh, uh, um, my auntie said that I should get older and they take care of you better, and then what you would think that would be the case, you know what I'm saying? But it'd be one of these situations where that might be the meanest joker you ever have met in your life, and so forth. So I think that's bad advice. So, matter of fact, as you being a woman, have you ever been given that advice or heard somebody get advice told that tells a young woman to hey go find an older man because of those things?
Well, no, I was not given that advice, but in an indirect way, because in an indirect way, when you're told older men are more mature, that's kind of the advice, right?
Right.
You start thinking, oh, women mature faster than men, and older men are more mature because they're older. So if you go get an older man, then you should be at the kind of same maturity level, and that is the bad advice because you're right. Some older men too want a younger woman for ill-gotten reasons.
Playthings
They want to be able, huh?
for playthings, no respect,
And control.
and to
It's
and to that to control them absolutely.
And control, because if I can get you to believe what I believe that you should be doing, I now have control over you. And
Absolutely.
I can make you do what I want you to do. And you no longer have a mind of your own. I'm molding what your thought process is. And so that's horrible advice. And, to a degree, to each his own. I dated older men. I'm at a point where it seems like the only people hitting on me these days are younger guys. But it's like, I don't know why this is happening. Um,
Right.
but and I didn't have a problem at that time dating older men. But today, I probably wouldn't want to date older men for the reasons you stated. They are set in their ways, and they are kind of okay. I want to go to work. I want to go home. I want you to cook some dinner, and I don't want to do nothing. And it's very difficult to find a man in my age group that's gonna want to do the things that I want to do.
They don't want to
So,
go out. Just want to. If they don't have hypertension, they just want to rub on your knee, huh? If they got hypertension, then they just go. You know what I'm saying? Go clean the house and bring my dinner and shut up.
bring my dinner and get my pill box
Yeah,
together,
and,
okay? Look,
and hope for a pork chop sandwich every now and again, huh?
you're not getting that pork chop sandwich. We're back to that. You're gonna get a spring salad. I
Right,
told you.
right.
So that is horrible advice. What else you got?
I think that another bit of horrible advice is I'm gonna say to the young men, go play the field, go, you know what I'm saying, go explore and so forth. Don't get too serious. Now I'm gonna say that in a way it's good advice, in a way it's bad advice because that type of advice says, hey, don't fall in love with the first person you meet. You know what I'm saying? Because that person might have been right for you. Well, half of it. Second part is the factors is that now if you start, you know what I'm saying, building that behavior of running around, you know what I'm saying, that sometimes that behavior is hard to stop. And then there's way for, you know what I'm saying, you have multiple children out of that scenario. So I think that advice should be just left out of the whole conversation and so forth. And say, hey, just find you a nice girl out there and be nice to her. Instead of the go play the field or sow your oats or stuff like that. What you think
Well,
about that?
look at you trying to give out some good advice.
Hey,
Uh,
I'm trying to help the people too. I'm trying to help the people too.
but I mean, I agree with you. But in turn, women have that same bad advice. Go get a roster. Right?
Right,
This is what women are told. Go get a roster of men. Go date 3 or 4. I think all that's going to do is cause confusion.
right,
It really is. You don't have the emotional capability of giving 3 people or 4 people anything worthy of
right,
who you truly represent as a person. And
right.
that goes for male and female. I
Absolutely,
mean, for
I give you that.
men, y'all, you may, be getting your rocks off, but for women, and I'm not saying that dating is equivalent to sleeping with a person.
Okay.
Let's take out sleeping. I'm saying a roster where you may not be sleeping with any of them, or you picked one and you're only sleeping
Mm.
with Charlie, but
And you
you are
going out with
still
everybody else.
incapable, right, of being emotionally available for the other 3. It's confusion.
Or
Now, I'm for
uh,
dating 2 people if it's not defined. Like, okay, you starting to date this person, and they're like, I want to get to know you a little bit better.
right,
Okay, and you're dating somebody else. That's about all you could probably handle is dating. But if you are going to say, you know what, I'm getting a little more vested in Charlie, then I need to have a conversation with Eddie and drop him and say, look, this ain't gonna work out. And then put it all on one table, and if it works, it works. But that's the worst thing you can do
right,
is start telling people, go get a roster, go get 3, 4 people, because all it's doing is keeping another person, the person who's doing it, emotionally unavailable. It really is. You're not emotionally available to anybody.
right, right. Just in the physical, and then that that
Yeah.
that that, that swirls the boat when you do that. So, I want to say this. This is the most useless. It's the most useless, incomplete advice I've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? I know that first one
Thank
was
you,
a
please.
doozy. I know that first one was a doozy. And the second one was good too. But this one right here is this. And like I said, if you're older, you've heard this advice before. If you're older, you might have even given this advice before. And there's a gap. If you're younger in the audience, you might not have heard it because your parents might not have known to tell you this advice. But when you're growing up, leave the house, save your money and just leave and just drop that off and leave it there. Now, it's like, okay, save your money. Then what? What I do next? There's no other advice to
Oh, you
do.
need a plan.
Yeah, this is save your money. A little bit out of each check. What that mean? A little bit of what? How much? What I do with it when I save it? What should I plan for? What's the process? How should I look at it? How should I run my budget? None of those questions are answered. It's just save money and they walk off. That's the most useless information ever. I say.
Don't think that's useless. I
Yeah, I
think
know. Because I
it's
said
good
to
advice.
people, like I said, in the older age bracket, because you would give that advice and so forth.
No,
There's so
I
many
think
holes in that
it's good
advice.
advice if you bag it up with some whys. And that's all I'm saying. It's good advice if you're saying, like, I know somebody who has grown kids over 20, and she's got a daughter and a son over 20. I think the son is like 22. And what she's telling him to do is stay here at home
Okay.
and save your money
Four?
so that when you, huh?
Four? Is
I'm
it
getting there.
okay, okay,
I'm
go,
getting
go,
there.
go. Okay, got you.
Okay. So when you leave, you can move out and buy your own house. Save your money so that when you leave, you're not a renter. Save your money or pay off everything. So she got this 22-year-old son who's done bought a F-150 paid for.
Okay.
He's got a RV paid
How
for.
old is the kid?
22.
So
Um,
he's been out of school since 18. He went to college, or he went straight to workforce.
he went straight to work for the family business.
Oh, okay, okay,
And he also has his own business and something else he has. I think a motorcycle or something like that.
okay.
And all of it's paid for. So that save your money advice is working out for him because she's making sure that when he leaves her house,
Mm-hmm.
he ain't leaving in debt.
Right,
He ain't leaving with a bunch of bills.
right,
And she's very purposely saying, save your money so that when you leave here, you may not be able to go buy a $300,000 house, but at least you can get a starter home with a decent down payment
right,
and not be so far behind. But that's the advice that I think we don't get in terms of the why you save your money.
right.
And the other thing I want to say about that is my best friend's daughter, who is all of, I think she's in high school, senior. She works, she saves her money. And my best friend called me and was like, let me tell you, this child said she's starting to save for retirement. I was like, retirement?
There we
She
go.
only 17 years old.
She done heard something.
And she's like, I think I should start saving for retirement. And I'm like, okay. And that's my point.
Right.
You're told save your money, but nobody's telling you why. And I
Yes.
think if you're told why,
The why.
you get it.
And then more
You
advice
get
to
it.
go with it. Because I know I've given this advice about saving the money, and I ain't broke it down into percentages. You know what I'm saying? Your check comes in, this percentage should go over here. You know what I'm saying? You should throw that percentage in the black hole over there. And then, you know what I'm saying? You pay your bills over here with this, and you break it down that way and so forth. I have definitely broken it down to that point. Because, like I said, the advice I remember getting was save your money, and then that was it. And then if there's
But you
no
know what?
action plan behind that, then you save money and spend money, save money and spend money, save money and spend money, and you never have money.
I would rather you have a save your money without knowing why than have grown up with a family that nobody saved any money. They spend every dime they got, and you have no concept of saving money. Like somebody else I know, no concept of saving money whatsoever. It was a foreign idea to save
Right.
any money. As a matter of fact, their idea was I get paid every week, so I should be able to spend every dollar up until the last day, the day I get paid. If I don't have no money, that's fine with me because I get paid on Friday. So I would rather you have some sort of save your money, even if you don't know what for, than spend every dime you get and get paid on Friday.
Right. Yep. So people, put in the comments what advice that you see that was said that sounded good, but it actually in practicality is no good, and so forth. And like I said, the whole be a leader thing, that's the worst one. Every time I hear it, especially said to children, you know what I'm saying, high school age, I cringe every time I hear it. Because what you're setting these youths up is for, you know what I'm saying, for failure. Now, granted, some people, like I said, well, like you said, some people can understand that, hey, we need to work together. You know what I'm saying? You get some people that do that and they'll work together. But the vast majority will not. Everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody wants to be the man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be the one that's the front man, the lead singer, and so forth. Don't nobody want to hold a tambourine. Don't nobody want to hit the drums. Don't nobody want to do the two steps and then point
Nobody want to
out
just do the
and then bring it
backup
back
steps.
and bring it back. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to do that. Don't nobody want to do that. Everybody want to be the front man. Everybody want to be the man. And like I said, that causes problems. But those relationship issues though, how many? I'm trying to tell you how many unhappy people has been in relationships and have been in relationships unfulfilled because the information they were told, hey, go get an older man because it's more stable, they take care of you better or whatever. How many women have went through that or know somebody went through that that you knew that they weren't happy the whole time, but the advice they were given by their mama, their grandma, their auntie, their great aunt, whatever, put them in a bad situation because their peoples was also in that bad situation. So if you see somebody, don't give these young girls that information no more about older men and maturity. I'm pretty sure it's probably less of it now, but it was a big thing before that, you know what I'm saying, that older men were better. So, and with that being said, Sharice, do you have another one that says any bad advice? Do you have one?
I want to just reiterate that roster thing
Mm.
because
How many on your roster right now?
no, no, no.
How
Here's
many
some
on
bad advice.
how many on your roster right
Here,
now? You got two, three,
none. No,
zero.
mm-mm.
You cleared the roster, but
I don't have a
we
roster.
we
I don't even want a
we
roster.
going into the fall now.
I don't
You
have
know what I'm
no
saying?
roster. No rosters. No
Okay.
more. No
All
more.
right. Okay. Okay.
Sharice is busy. Sharice is super busy.
She's super busy. Okay. What you got?
Um, you see, you made me forget. Uh, I know what it is.
All right.
It's the roster, and it's here's some really, really horrible advice.
Okay.
I'm surprised you missed this one.
Okay.
The best way to get over one person
I'm gonna let you do. I'm gonna let you say that. I couldn't say it. I couldn't say it. I want you to
is
say
to
it.
get under another one. That's the worst advice you can give somebody.
But that advice is, I'm pretty sure, and I want to say that advice is probably in your age bracket and the bracket underneath you. You know what I'm saying? Was probably given that information. To get over one and get under another one. Huh?
Get over one, under another one, and vice versa for a man. You want to get over her, go get on top of somebody else. That is horrible, horrible advice. Go somewhere and heal. And wonder why you got to just go from person to person to person. That is the worst advice somebody can give you. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you, they don't even like you. They done told you some crazy stuff to go do. Okay, it's gonna mess you up in the long term. Cause back to back, back to back. Cause I mean, think about it. If you stick to that advice,
Right.
every time you break up,
Mhm.
you go do the same pattern.
Yep.
When are you dealing with you?
I do.
When are you gonna deal with yourself? You ain't never telling yourself the truth. You may be the damn problem. You are telling yourself that because you can go find somebody else to get under. So you ain't never telling yourself you the problem. You just go get somebody else.
So she,
Okay?
so she
Horrible advice.
break it with Charlie, and then Trevor get on top of her, and now she better now. Now she mad at
Yeah.
Trevor the
Okay.
same way she mad at Charlie, and now she going to go get with What up?
Sugarfoot.
Sugarfoot. Yep.
Sugarfoot next.
Yep.
So, you know, it's all them three people fault
Yep.
instead of you, because you keep going rolling up under the next person instead of dealing with what is wrong with you. And nobody ever told anybody, wait a minute, baby, slow down, go deal with you,
Right.
go make yourself happy, go work on you. We could all stand to lose 15 pounds. Go lose some weight. And that don't, I mean, just don't even leave it there. But I mean, something happens when you go work on yourself.
Right. Right.
Go and do some stuff before you go grab another man. And don't go get him while you're trying to lose 15 pounds at the gym. Stop.
Mm.
Stop your
Mm.
crazy self and take a break.
He gonna like me just as I am. You know how I go. Yo, so peoples, I wanna put this in here real quick. So next week we're gonna start doing a live show. We want you to be a part of the discussion and so forth.
It's
So
live.
yes, this will be on YouTube. It's gonna be on
Always
YouTube
live.
and so forth. And there'll be more announcements made before it start, but it will be live next week. So with that being said, Shreesh, what do you have for us today? What
What? Well, that was it.
that was it?
Stop rolling on the other people.
Hey, don't work on yourself.
Stop
That's
rolling under folks. You break up with somebody, stop rolling under somebody else.
don't
Because that's
roll.
not helping you.
Don't roll on to nobody else unless you want to.
Don't do it. It's a bad look. Don't do it.
Yo, all right, peoples. With that being said, it's been Bar Talk. Brandon T and Sharice. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff, and share the show. We'll see you later. Peace.